are back at my Keto Naturopath kitchen, and today I'm making a carnivore pizza crust. It's dairy-free and it's made with eggs. It's made with the whole eggs. And I've made one before with just egg whites. It's a little crispier. I can put a link to that. This is made with the whole eggs. I've made chicken crust pizza before, which is good. I've also made pizza with a hamburger or sausage crust. That's good too. But this is amazing because you feel like you're actually eating pizza. The crust is just perfect. So you start off with 6 egg whites in a medium bowl. To that you add 27 grams of egg white powder and a teaspoon of gelatin. And you're going to add a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of oregano, and I'm going to add a teaspoon of basil as well, all dried. Your basic Italian seasoning. And we're going to whip the egg whites to a stiff peak. And now we're going to add in the egg yolks. As I say, for a crisper crust, don't add the egg yolks in, but and then just fold the egg yolks in until they're completely incorporated. Okay, so what I used to do, I bought these are about 11-inch pans, and this 6 eggs will, even egg whites will make 2 of these, which I liked, and they freeze really well. But I've got these little pans at Aldi's, and these are 7-inch pans, and they're perfect, a one-person pizza. So I like making them in this, but this is way more than this. If I had 4 of these pans, it probably would be okay. But what I do then is I make like a flatbread, and I have parchment paper on a baking sheet, and the rest of it I will make like flatbreads. But you could also make a rectangular pizza. And my mother, her pizzas were always rectangular. So that's what I grew up with. I call them Sicilian pizza because we're Sicilian. So what we're going to do now is spray these pans really well because you don't want it to stick. And you're going to start making the crust. You can make it as thick or thin as you want. And then just pour the rest onto the baking sheet. And I use this for like a flatbread. As I said, you could make a rectangular pizza. Try to give it as even as possible. So I'm going to put these in a 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. Then we're going to take them out, flip them over, and we're going to put our toppings on. So 400-degree oven for 10 minutes. Be back in 10 minutes. Pizza crusts have been in the oven for 10 minutes. I'm going to take them out and show you how we make pizza. So now what I do is I flip it over. Okay. So then we get the pizza. Now, this is not carnivore, but because I'm using tomato sauce. If you're carnivore, do not use tomato sauce. You could just use cheese and some other meat toppings. I like to put the sauce all the way to the end so that you don't have any dry spots. Oh, that's a little too much. And one of these crusts was a lot thicker than the other. So again, you can make it as thin or as thick as you like. This will make a chewier crust. If you like it crispier, just use egg whites. And I will link to my pizza with just egg white crust. And then I will add cheese. I like to grate my own cheese. Cheese that you buy already grated has starches in it, so grate your own with a box grater. I like a lot of cheese. I know I'm normally dairy-free, but when you're having pizza, have pizza. And as I mentioned before, these crusts freeze really well, so you can always have them in the freezer when you want pizza and you don't have to think about making a crust, because sometimes it's like, oh, I want pizza, but I just don't feel like mixing up the crust. So have these in the freezer, put parchment paper in between them, and take out what you need. So these go back in the oven for about 5 minutes or until the cheese starts to melt. So we'll be back when it's all done. Pizza's out of the oven and we're gonna taste it. I'm so excited. I love pizza so much. So if you really wanted this true carnivore, don't put the sauce on it and put ground beef, pepperoni, ground sausage. If you're dairy-free, don't put the cheese. Put different meats on it. I never thought I'd be using my pizza cutter again, but I have pizza now. As I mentioned, this is the perfect size for one serving. Oh, I cannot wait. I love pizza so much. This is really good. And you've got the crust, but it's like pretty low carb, maybe 1 carb per serving, and tastes just like pizza. You'll love it.